Hello, hello. Just a, a little message today. I wanted to share this. Had come to me, through another's experience. Often that's the way it comes. And somebody was chatting with me, and you know, um, that somebody had said something to them, and it hurt. They felt hurt, and that hurt feeling can be real. It's the feeling is real, but in a way it's almost I mean, you got to look at it. All of us have to look at ourselves and think, how seriously do I need to take this life? What if it's an adventure? What if it's an adventure? And that nothing really mattered. There was no way that we couldn't. There was no such thing as success or failure. There was no such thing as right or wrong. We were just in the adventure in each moment. But yet, somebody says something and we take it so seriously, and we get offended. And I think, what comes to me is that we hardly know ourselves in our root. We hardly know ourselves, and actually, our opinions of ourselves are ones that were often made before we were 7. That's right. And we carry this story about ourselves, and if anybody said the things about us to us that we say to ourselves, oh my God, we'd all be in jail for murder. So how do we, get to this place where we recognize that it's not that serious? We don't need to take it too seriously. We don't need to be caught up in the fear of whether we're accepted or whether they like us or whether they don't like us, or it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that we're not here in love or that we don't care for others, but we're not here to care about whether they like us or don't like us, or see us or don't see us. We hardly see ourselves. When you ask the question, who am I? Not me, but when you ask the question about you, who am I? Who am I? Who are you? And if you can answer that question, then wow, you're free. You're free. I mean, look at that. That's a question that doesn't get asked a lot. We don't, we're always running around trying to figure out who we are based on other people's opinions, or based on this idea that we established as a very young person, which wasn't true. It just wasn't true. We kind of cobbled it together because, when we're 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, we are trying to figure out, who are we, where do we fit, what's going on, and Grandma says something, we think, oh, that must be it because Grandma said it, or Mom says something, and maybe it's not pleasant, or maybe it's demeaning, and we think, well, that must be me, and so we get this idea and we live into it, this belief about ourselves, and it's not true. And some of you will relate, won't you, to, I'm not good enough, or I'm, not smart enough, or I'm fat, or I'm too tall, or I'm too short, or my calves are too big. and isn't it silly? Think of it. It's like, holy shit. But we do it, and then somebody comes along and says something that maybe wasn't even meant to be demeaning, and we interpret it, and we say, oh, I don't know what I did to that guy, why he's always mad at me, and maybe he isn't always mad at you. Maybe he's just mad. Maybe he's just disturbed. Maybe he's just unhappy, and but it comes out in aggressively sometimes. So that's the deal. It's an adventure. Life is an adventure. Don't take it too seriously, right? Don't take it personally. It isn't personal. When we drop into the moment, into now, practice that. In my meditations, this is, what comes out over and over and over again, to support my community and the people around me in coming into this moment. Because in the moment, there's no struggle. Nothing's missing. Nothing's needed, right? In the moment, we're free. Just try it. Wherever you're sitting, just drop in, and include the sounds. Include your breath. Just be here. Drop everything. Just let it all go. Boom. It's freedom. Nothing to be upset about. Nothing to be concerned about. And then we respond to the moment. It isn't like we, disappear. We're still here and we just respond to the moment. We're alive. We're more alive because we're not filtering everything through our conditioning. We're not filtering everything through our perception of how we think life is. Which was created, like I said, often before we were 7. Right? Running around thinking it's not safe, or I have to look after myself. I got to be the boss of me. Just relax. Okay. Love you guys. I'm still reading from the Tao, and I'm going to just read briefly that this is a beautiful book. I'm getting close to finishing it, and I haven't read from it for a while, but I'm just going to read this. Chapter 67. And it's only 2 paragraphs, so stick with me. The Tao. It's an amazing book. The Tao Te Ching, Stephen Mitchell's rendition, translation. It's beautiful. And was originally written by an old kind of a Zen master, or maybe a Zen servant, right? Lao-tzu. 67, chapter 67. Some say that my teaching is nonsense. Some say that my teaching is nonsense. Others call it lofty but impractical. But those who have looked into themselves, and this is the deal, right? Be here now and look inside. Looked into themselves, this nonsense, but to those who have looked into themselves, this nonsense makes perfect sense. To those who put it into practice, this loftiness has roots that go deep. I have just 3 things to teach. Simplicity, be here now. Patience, and compassion. Compassion. These 3 are my greatest treasures. Simple in actions and in thoughts. You return to the source of being. Simple in actions and in thoughts. You return to the source of being. The source of being is in this moment, now, within us. It's not something we need to get to. It's who we are. Patient with both friends and enemies, you accord with the way things are. So life on life's terms, you accord with the way things are. Compassionate towards oneself, towards yourself, compassionate towards yourself, you reconcile all beings in the world. So it means we're right with everyone. We're right with everyone. We reconcile all beings in the world. We're right with everyone in this moment. Nothing is missing. No angers, no fears. Reconcile with all beings. Sounds like love, baby. Okay, that's my reading for today. Don't take it too seriously. Here we are. It's an adventure. It's a gift. Nothing's missing. Okay, love you so much. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.